Onegaishimasu. This morning, I'm going to read you number 10, Shokushu, the principle of non-dissension. There is no conflict in the absolute universe. Conflict arises only in the relative world. If we are to lead others, we must unify mind and body and practice the principles of the universe. Do not say that this is the world of survival of the fittest, where the stronger prey upon the weaker. The true way of peace is exactly the same as the principle of non-dissension. That principle of non-dissension is really the overall abiding principle of Shinshin Tutsu Aikido, isn't it? Principle of non-dissension is the principle of going with rather than going against. This principle is the fundamental principle that Ueshiba Sensei discovered in his awakening. And it's the fundamental principle that Koichi Toei Sensei spent his life finding different ways of expressing, attempting to share his experience of going with rather than going against with the world. And in these 5 principles of Shinshin Tutsu Aikido, then, that it's not an overall strategy of 5, holding 5 tactics of how to overcome someone, or how to win over someone, or how to make someone else lose. No, these are 5 states of mind that he's suggesting we need to adopt as principles of living if we want to learn non-dissension, if we want to learn to go with rather than go against, if we want to learn to be a friend, a true friend to one or more people. So the principle we're on today, the 3rd principle, is respect your partner's ki. The last one was know your partner's mind. So think about your friend, your partner maybe. You know their mind. You know what they cherish. You know what's most important to them, what they really care deeply about. Do you support that? Are you their greatest? Are you the greatest admirer of that aspect of them that they cherish? See, are you a true friend? So are you going with rather than going against? And if we can learn to do that with a person that we love and care about, in other words, if we can learn to love someone, then we can take that same principle and love everyone. That's what Toei Sensei is saying. You know, respecting someone else's ki. It's like in Aikido, sometimes we just find ourselves bumping into other people, right? So when we're clumsy, or when we're inattentive to our partner, to our uke, when we're only thinking about our own movement and how to do what we're doing, then we're not really going with. We're always bumping into, trying to make something happen. Oh, this is not respecting our opponent's ki, not respecting our partner's ki. And really, that's why I use the word partner instead of opponent. It's a transformation that takes place when we do this. We're transforming our opponent into a partner. We're going with rather than going against. This is the principle of respecting our partner's ki. Okay, this is a huge subject. There's much more there, but let's begin by practicing ki breathing together. In Tokyo, Japan, every year there's a great gathering of all martial arts at a big center in Tokyo, and they all give demonstrations and honor their martial art. And in 1990, Tohei Sensei was there taking part and was giving a talk. And he began his talk with these words: Shin Shin Tuitsu Aikido is not a martial art. Yeah. So he means by that Shin Shin Tuitsu Aikido, in Shin Shin Tuitsu Aikido, there is no competition. There is no winner and no loser. Everyone in Aikido wins. So this is the meaning of the spirit of non-dissension and of our principle today. Respect your partner's ki. Okay, so now would be a good time if you have anything you'd like to say or ask.
Good morning. I have a question about non-dissension. What if it's not on Aikido dojo, but in like a workplace? If the other person's ki seems a little crazy and harmful, and how do I draw a line so that I don't become a pushover? Like, yeah. I try to work with the person, but it seems very chaotic and crazy ki I feel from the other person. And I was at the end try to set some boundaries so I don't get affected. But it seems I'm doing against what you are teaching me this morning. So would you please help me on that?
Can I tell you a little story?
Yes.
It's kind of a famous story. It's not about me. But it was told by a well-known Aikido instructor. He was training in Japan when he was a young man with O Sensei. And he was very undeveloped as yet, but he was very proud that he was training Aikido and very excited about it. One night he was going home on the subway, and a drunk man walked onto the subway and began, he was crazy like the person you're talking about. His ki was all over the place, and he was talking loudly, and looked like he might maybe cause some trouble with some people. And so this individual that's telling the story, this young man thought, now's a chance for me to practice my Aikido. I can subdue this man and take him down right here in front of everyone. And he began to prepare himself. And just about that time, a little old man came up to the drunk man and put his hand on his back and started caressing him and said, "Oh, I see you like to drink sake. I love to drink sake. Come sit down with me." And he sat him down, and he said, "You know, my wife and I have a glass of sake at the end of every day when I come home from work. I'm so happy to meet you and to learn that you also enjoy this." sake. And pretty soon the man had his head on the old man's shoulder and was crying. And that gentleman that told the story said that changed his career in Aikido forever. So he saw the benefit of going with instead of going against, and what O-Sensei was really trying to teach him. So, it's not like someone can give you the perfect thing to do. It's not like a strategy, or not a technique, a tactic. There is no overall strategy. If you look at Aikido that way, you'll misunderstand Aikido. Aikido is changing our heart. It's opening our heart and making it available. Instead of trying to think of a way to change what's happening, we open to what's happening. And then when we do that, we always see. You can never know ahead of time, but we can always see when we open to the situation what can move it forward in a positive way. So, and by saying, Doi Sensei saying Shinshin Jutsu Aikido is not a martial art, he also means that it's not somewhere you go to learn how to defeat others or how to solve a situation. It's not where you come and learn techniques to resolve issues. It's not conflict resolution in the sense that if you come to my class, I'll teach you all these techniques and they will aid you in resolving difficult situations in your life. Not at all. That's what we appear to be doing. But a true teacher is not going to do that. He is not going to teach you that. He's not going to teach you to have that attitude, because that's a hopeless attitude. Because every time something comes up, it's completely original. And it's only asking one thing of us. And that's to open ourselves to it innocently and sincerely, with faith in our hearts that whatever comes out will be good, will be okay. So it's so counterintuitive that way. I mean, it's so maybe not counterintuitive, but counter-conceptual. We think, no, I must know what to do in this situation. The beauty of every situation is that it in itself shows us what to do. That's why we love life. Otherwise, it would be pretty boring to be such an expert. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sensei.
All right, someone else, please.
Good morning, Sensei. This is Fincher.
Hi, good morning, Fincher.
Just a quick question, and maybe this is an obvious question, but how is it that win-win situation, how is it the person that ends up on the mat?
Good question. How is that guy winning?
Yes.
Well, you're saving him from doing harm. And that is changing his life for the better. That's a quick way of saying it, you know. Yeah, our whole, see, it's really this question you have there that gets right to the thing I'm trying to emphasize today. That Aikido, the way we practice Aikido, it's not a strategy to resolve conflict. I know we say that's what it is, but if we look at it that way, then we're offering up something that can be countered. Do you see? What we're doing, what I told Kayumi is we're opening our heart. We're becoming one with, we're joining with the intention of the other person. We know their mind. We respect their key. The next one is we put ourselves in their place. We join with them. We become one with them. This is the opposite of what they thought would happen when they attacked us. Right? They thought they would either win or they would lose, but they never imagined that they would make a friend. They never imagined that they would become one with. Now, of course, physically, in the physical movements, they generally end up with the person in a prone position where they can contemplate their good fortune. Okay? That's my answer to that question.
Thank you, Sensei.
Yeah, I think it's, Aikido is just so beautiful. And we're so fortunate to be doing it. It's so easy to misunderstand just because of what's in our subconscious mind, because of the way we've been conditioned in our lives. So let's understand it for what it is. Toi Sensei's teaching is very deep and asks a lot of us. So let's rise up to meet it. Thank you very much. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. I'll see you soon next week. Aloha.